Be fine.
Are you sure
He'll
about
just
that?
fucking do that.
Are
He'll
you
just-
sure about that?
Are you
He'll just-
sure about that?
He'll just cry about it later.
Are you sure about that?
Jacob, we can't all have part-time jobs.
Yeah, Jacob.
Right.
Oh, Jacob.
A full-time and a part-time job.
Yeah. You're a full-time asshole and a part-time winner. I love it.
Yeah. Dude,
I love you
he's
too, buddy.
fucking diversified. I don't know what you mean, dude.
Yeah.
You sound like a hater to me.
S&P 500, Jacob.
A super diverse
Diversify the
portfolio over
balls,
there.
Either you love me or you
Tellers,
hate me.
ladies. Huh?
I said either you love me or you hate me, I guess. I mean, it's...
I wish you were coming down here, dude. I'd pay you to come into my house and rehook up my surround sound. Ever since I got rid of DirecTV, everything went through that. Now I'm all streaming services, and I have no fucking... We just turned the speaker back on the TV, and I've got like this kick-ass surround sound system, and spent a shit ton of money and don't even use it. Just sits there looking pretty.
Did Seth fucking freeze.
Coalescent
As soon as
dust.
we
Already.
started the podcast,
Yeah.
he fucking...
I'm here. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here. Yes, you are.
Dude, I do not understand what the fuck is going
It's
on.
not
It
frozen on my end. This is weird.
Yeah, it's frozen on our end.
Yeah,
frozen.
it's fucking crazy,
Listen,
dude.
minimize the porn site, okay?
Yeah, dude, yeah. You gotta
You
start
watch a
jerking off
porn
while
at
we're
work.
doing this.
Did I do that?
I like to see penis while I'm on the podcast.
The peen.
You know my bisexual tendencies.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's-
Whatever floats your boat, brother.
Love the cock.
Sing
Well,
your battles,
I mean,
yeah.
look at his face. It looks like someone.
There he is.
They're
He's
just
back.
solid
Up.
wiener.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, man. We got to figure it out, man. Maybe Seth's right. I don't know. Maybe after the first year, we'll stop doing it on this. But if we go to Zoom and the same problem persists, then we're going right back to Skype.
If it persists, we just let Seth not have the camera on.
I mean, I ain't gonna be mad at you. Can't have this much beauty in one show, you know?
Oh,
Mix it up a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I think everyone will have a nice view of your big ass head.
Right.
It's a lot of brain, man.
So it's
Yeah.
the end of the month, so that means this podcast isn't going to be about window cleaning. I mean, we'll probably talk about it, I'm sure, eventually somewhere within here somebody asks a question or nothing, but this is the once a month off topic show. Jacob says we're always off topic, which I find,
I didn't tell you. You're taking that as a dig.
I find that hilarious, actually.
Well,
I mean, that's all we talk about is window cleaning for 5 fucking years now. We're 5 episodes away from 300. We've got no plans for it.
Wow, shit. We need to do something.
Plans is to do the same thing we do anyways. I love it.
We're here to
Whatever
fuck
we
shit
want
up.
to do.
Whatever the fuck we want to do. Yeah, we've got 5 more shows, and then it's episode 300. Which is
Shit, I remember
crazy.
when we were so excited to hit 100.
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
Jacob will have a book fair or something to do on that episode. But
I actually, I went to
Yeah.
a book fair not 2 days ago. So
listen, if your
So we'll
son
have
loves books and you go to book fairs, that's awesome.
We'll have to hit up all of our sponsors except for windowcleaner.com. I don't think they like us anymore, but maybe we'll get Maker Products and Black Diamond Rubber to hook us up with some shit to give away to people.
sorry, man. I can't say anything.
It's all
else other than
Jacob's. It's
sorry.
all Jacob's fault, really. But you done went and pissed off the Grand Poobah jersey. Great. I hope you're happy.
So, Jacob.
Good job, Jacob. So I guess I mean, we might as well talk about it. It's a current event, and I'm curious to see what everyone has to say here. I mean, do you guys stand with Palestine or Israel? Where are you guys at on this shit?
No, I don't stand with Palestine. These people are fucking animals, and they need to be annihilated.
I'm waiting to hear what Seth has to say. I knew what Mark was going to say, but I'm waiting to hear what...
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he's in Florida. You can't,
I'd say, what are they waiting for? Because Sniffy told them to hold back. They need to go level that fucking place and finish this once and for all. That's me.
Yeah.
So, Seth?
I don't know. There's no chance you end this once and for all by doing that. This conflict has existed on paper 3,000 years.
Yeah, it's been
And
around
I
for
don't
thousands
believe
of years.
in a Jewish white ethno-state in the Middle East as a pet project for the United States. I also don't think terrorist groups should be blowing up women and children. I don't know. It's a hard call for me. I don't
So
think
wait a
it should exist.
minute. Having a Jewish white what?
No state, ethno-state.
Yeah, wait a
In the
minute.
Middle East.
Yeah, but they've been there since like 12,000, like fucking.
Not the Ashkenazi Jews from Europe from 2,000
Yeah,
years
but it
ago.
doesn't matter.
What's
though?
the number one cause of death in Israel besides blowing up? Skin cancer. You are not from there, Todd. You aren't. You're not from
But
there.
so we're gonna say that. So what you're trying to say is that the Israelis do not belong there. That's what you're saying?
I don't believe that they should have rights to Israel.
Oof.
I don't know,
and
man.
why is that?
Because it's a Jewish ethno-state that was bought by the British Empire and given to them by the UN.
Because
And
they had
I don't
nowhere
believe
else
it
to
should
go.
exist.
Because they were fucking murdered
Why? 'Cause
by
they
the
keep-
gajillions.
No, I'm not saying they weren't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's not the answer to what happened. So you put them in the middle of a conflict. The United States and the UN and British backed put them there in the Middle East so they could control the Middle East. Listen, I don't believe that there should be Muslim countries. I don't believe there should be Christian countries. I don't believe there should be Jewish countries. It should just be countries with people in them.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the way that it's
So
gone down.
considering the fact, all right, now just considering the fact that Israel and everyone else tried to give the Palestinians exactly what they wanted. Yasser Arafat, correct? It's like, I don't want to have nothing to
Turn
do
it
with
down.
that fucking
Yep.
shit. Fuck you.
Yep.
I'll never fucking kowtow to you motherfuckers. Now you're saying that Israel's wrong for that.
I'm saying no. I'm not saying.
So,
that.
like,
What I'm
if you
saying-
fight for something and win, like Jason says, you fight and win, and then you're like, what?
It's not like you won it on your own. You have been handed by the United States billions upon billions upon billions of taxpayer money
Mhm.
to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Netanyahu might be a war criminal, in my opinion. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, do you guys want to see any more money go to Israel? Let them fight their own battles.
It doesn't bother me
exist.
because it's the only democratic stronghold we have in the Middle East. Number one. Number two, I'm more concerned about what's going on here with these fucking college campuses and the support of Palestinian people that murder, cut the tits off of women in front of their husbands and fillet their fucking children. That's barbaric, animalistic, and those people need to be fucking removed.
According to
from
Seth and all
fucking-
his fucking friends, that shit never happened. That shit don't even happen.
Bullshit, it didn't
What
happen.
didn't happen?
The Holocaust?
No, the
Holocaust
murder.
1,000% happened.
No, I'm not talking about the Holocaust. No, I mean like what the Palestinians are doing to women and children right now.
No, those people should be murdered and castrated as well too.
So
I'm
that's
not
what we're
saying-
doing, bro.
No,
I have no comment towards this.
it's the same thing that Hamas is doing, and they're doing
As
it in a
like-
different. So to me, it's the same thing.
As like I've done, pissed off one of our sponsors, I'll piss off a lot of other people if I ever just respond and have comments on this.
So, are you got something to say, or
No, I said I have no comment. I'm
Oh.
passing.
That's
I
my,
didn't know fucking Seth is a fucking like a liberal bitch.
who funds Israel, dude?
Yeah,
Israel.
And let me ask you this. Seth.
Okay, the
Who-
most
who-
liberal
who
parts
funds-
of America
Who
fund
funds
Israel.
the Palestinians? Trump was the only one that shut that down, dude.
Funds
As
the
soon as this
Palestinians,
fucking
the Middle East,
wait a minute. As soon as this asshole
Yeah.
came to power, he released the money to the Palestinians. We send aid to Palestine every fucking year, dude.
Ireland just sent them $14 million.
Okay, I'm not talking about Ireland. I'm
No,
talking
what
about
I'm-
us.
Well, no,
We
I mean
sent-
that's part of the
We've been
West.
sending
Yeah, you're correct.
Palestinians money for fucking 50 years.
And not to
Sending
mention,
$1 billion.
not to mention, Joe Biden did a great thing by leaving all that military equipment behind for
Oh,
them
yeah.
to use.
Of course, it's there.
Smart idea. I'm saying another $100 billion to Israel. We're cool with that.
Yeah. Why not? We're giving all that money to fucking.
Okay, so
you listen. You open one laundromat, it does good. You got one of fucking what you call over there. You open
dry
one.
cleaners.
Yeah, you open a dry cleaners over there. Fucking where's that? Where are they at now? Where's the one they sent? The Ukraine. You got one over there in Ukraine. You got a nice laundromat there. Why not open one in fucking
Another
Israel?
one in Israel, yeah.
Why not? Why you need a place to launder taxpayer money?
How the best defense system in the world for 6 hours is shut down by Hamas rebels. They have no idea how any of that happens. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that's going on here. It doesn't make any sense. It's a cash grab. And again, I think two things can be wrong at once. I'm not for Hamas. I'm not for any of that bullshit. I'm not for a Jewish ethno-state either in the middle of the Middle East.
You know what I'm against? This is what I'm against. This is what I'm against. Extremists. White supremacists, fucking Black Panthers, fucking Black Lives Matter, fucking Hamas, all these. I'm against extremism. Especially religious extremism. Now, the Israelis don't belong there. Whatever's whatever. However, if they don't belong there, that's cool in the gang if you feel that way. This is the way I look at it. What Hamas is doing, what Yasser Arafat, all those fucking assholes, every one of those fucking douchebags that there were olive branches extended and they swatted them away. So they don't want peace, they want war. They want us all dead. They want every
not only Jewish
non-Muslim,
they want
everybody fucking dead.
Right. If you don't,
you're either a Muslim extremist or fucking dead. That's what they want.
If you don't subscribe to Islam, you're fucking done. You think that let's just say hypothetically, they were able to take back Israel and wipe out the Jews, okay? You think that they're going to stop there? Because we're not a nation of Islam. Christians, Catholics, everyone else would be on the firing line for that. They want complete domination.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but they're mobilizing. We're mobilizing. They're shipping troops over right now.
Yeah, well, we've already got 30 injured.
We're
under fucking radar.
We're shipping. I mean, and let's be perfectly honest about this. And I know everybody's like, well, China, they got fucking 5 guys. There are 1 guy. That's cool in the gang, but they're also malnourished. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So, like, anything that the U.S. is going to be doing right now, no one is going fucking tank for tank, rifle for rifle with us. It ain't gonna happen. Name one fucking country on the face of this planet that's going plane for plane with us.
Look. Nobody, but
exactly. So that means, in my opinion, that means that whatever does happen here is most likely just going to be terroristic horseshit, man. That's the scary part.
Well, let me.
And the way that our border has been opened up, since this fucking cockknocker has been in office, is even more petrifying than anything else. That's petrifying. They probably have a small insurgency already here on American soil. Already. That's scary.
Yep.
Seth is frozen again. This is fucking... I will not tolerate this any longer. I'm about to kick you off the show.
Man.
He said, I mean...
I was just saying.
You don't...
I won't speak on it anymore because my IDs are going to go bad. I don't want to tell you what I already think.
Wait a minute. You don't want to be on the show no more?
No, I said I don't want to get myself in trouble by what I say on
here on
YouTube Live.
You are the weakest link.
No,
goodbye.
Fuck it. Say it. Say what you feel like.
No, I mean,
just don't be.
I think there can be more extremists than just the notion. All right, listen. Muslim extremism is a real and dangerous thing, and is a threat to Western civilization. Two things can be corrected at once.
Yeah.
Zionism,
to
me, is the same exact thing, which is what Israel is, which is what our media is. When we talk about an insurgency, it already happened here. All of our media, all of our banks, Federal Reserve is all owned by 2% of the world's population.
Mm-hmm.
That 2% happens to be ritualistic Zionists who back Israel, and why we send all our money there all the time. I'm saying, as a United States taxpayer, I don't want to fund the pet project of the banks around the world to see. Oh, let's see if we can jam this in the Middle East. You could do a 2-state party. Like, at this point, I don't care. But I'm just saying,
they don't want
like,
2 states. They had the opportunity for 2 states.
I know, but neither.
Let me ask you this:
Netanyahu's a war criminal. He's as bad as Arafat is. He's as bad as who's the guy they killed in Iraq? What's his name?
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein. They're all the same thing to me. To me, they're all religious extremists. They all use the power of their religion to make other people lesser than.
Well,
hey,
I agree with you completely.
I'm going to tell
that's
you.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying Hamas. Like, I'm not over here praising terrorists. I'm saying I think they both are terrorists.
Everything TJ said is correct, and you too with the money. Okay, but if you notice, right, under Donald Trump, you had the Abraham Accords, which Saudi Arabia is ready to sign up on that shit. There was complete peace in the Middle East. Okay, they gave this fucking money to Iran. Iran is in the streets, death to America, death to Israel. As soon as they get a nuke, dude, they're lobbing that shit into fucking Israel, guaranteed, unless the Israelis take that shit out beforehand. And Israel knows that, okay? If it's a tinderbox, okay? But guess what? There was a lot of fucking peace breaking out. And this asshole shows up and releases the money to Palestine, gives $6 billion for 5 fucking hostages in Iran, gives them 5 fucking terrorists back, okay, and all hell breaks loose. And that's where this fucking lies. These people only respect one thing, and that's strength. You remember that fucking asshole in...
There's only one way to solve this, dude, and that's with fucking bombs, bro.
Okay, listen, well, you're right. Look, that Syrian asshole, gassing his own people, and fucking Trump sent them tomahawks in and fucking leveled their base where they were doing that. Guess what? He didn't do it anymore. That's how you have to destroy these fucking people, is with strength. We don't have strength.
I'm uncertain how it's liberal to think that 2 groups are terrorist groups. My bad, dogs. I won't have an opinion.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No,
Seth.
not you guys. I'm talking to whoever then. And
let me ask you something, Seth. Let me ask you something.
Gifts.
If you are the only, if you have a group
Seth
of people,
is a progressive, not a liberal.
I am kind of going way the other goddamn way.
Dude, if you are a group of people that is constantly being attacked and threatened your entire existence, okay? You think that you're a terrorist for defending yourself? You don't see wait. You don't see the Israelis chopping up fucking babies and raping women and taking hostages.
I can pull up 30 articles in the past 20 years where they've done exactly that. IDF is just as bad as Hamas is. I'm not saying Hamas isn't crap.
Well, you're not. You're not going to see that by the Jewish-run media, bro. It's never going to happen.
I'm trying to tell you, IDF murders babies, kills children.
They just happen to be Palestinian children and women.
Or Jordanians or Arabs, and then Arabs are killing all the Israelis and all the Jews and all the Christians. Listen, I'm not saying no side on this.
I personally think, this is what I personally think. If you want, it almost seems like, and I know people are going to get upset about this, but it almost seems, and Seth, if you guys just let me go for a minute, it almost seems as if the powers that be, like, where can we put something that will be a fucking eternal conflict forever? You know what I mean? Let's stick the Jews in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? Great place.
Of all the land. So we disperse them from Europe. We don't give them anywhere in Europe.
Right.
Right? We killed them there. The United States was holding, before the United States went in on World War II, Madison Square Garden sold out 4 times for the Third Reich. I'm just saying, there was like a lot of hate for Jews in this country too.
Yeah.
And where did we put them? We didn't let them have spots here. We didn't give them spots in Europe. We give them spots that we don't own in a land that nobody. It's been contentious since like the Crusades. Christians are fighting for it. Muslims are fighting for it. Jews are fighting it. And we go, it's theirs. We bought it. It's ours.
It's ours now. Here
I
and
just-
here,
I-
you
I
guys,
just asked for conflict
you
and
guys
created
hang
a
out
military
here with the
industrial
Muslims. It's almost like a built-in conflict. You know what I mean? It's really weird. I think that really what it is, to be quite honest with you, that area seems to be a spot where a lot of, like Seth said, fucking fervent Christians want to keep that land for themselves, but they don't want to go there and live there to defend it. They're like, oh, we'll just send these fucking goofballs over there and they can defend it
if you
for
look at
us.
it, right, when Israel won back in 67, what did Iran look like in 63? It looked like here.
Yeah.
What that happened in Israel, what that allowed to do was allow extremism to take over the Middle East, which is exactly what they wanted because it funds wars, which is how America has made their money since the 50s.
I mean, I'm not saying that what's going on is fucking cool, and I'm not saying that fucking the Israelis don't have a right to defend themselves. I'm not saying any of that shit, but what I'm saying is there's, without question, whether people want to admit it or not, definitely bigger fucking fish being fried here than, you know what I mean? And let's be honest, man, it's all cool in the fucking gang when we're not talking about Palestine versus Israel. People are readily willing to admit that the media and all that shit is owned by and entertainment, fucking music, fucking movies, fucking money, fucking television stations. It's all ran by mostly Jewish people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
Let me ask you a question.
We're gonna get banned off of
Wait.
YouTube, brothers.
Seth, do you think that if the Palestinians completely annihilated Israel, the Jews in Israel, okay, and took the fucking country, right, that this would stop?
No, he's not saying that.
No. I'm asking him a question.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that that piece of land will always be a contentious, because it always has.
Let's just say hypothetically.
Ain't that where? What's special about that place there?
No, because the Jews turned it into a paradise. It's a fucking piece of shit desert, is what it is.
No. I mean, there's something special there, right? Is it Mecca there or something shit like that? Isn't that where they all pray at? Or is it somewhere else?
Know.
Is that somewhere else, Seth?
Mecca? I believe Mecca is somewhere else.
You know where the Holy of Holies,
like
where
temple. They have the temple,
the Temple Mount. Dome. Isn't there like something there?
Yeah, the Temple Mount. Next to the Temple Mount, there's the
She said
Mount.
Jewish hexagon thing that they walk in.
Yeah, isn't that like the wall where they all cry at and shit?
So you have like the crying wall there too.
Okay, so that's no matter what, like Seth was saying, Mark, no matter what, that area, whether if say the Palestinians go in there and they fucking wreck shop.
Right.
Fucking knock them all out. There's just going to be, it's some other motherfuckers.
Mark, who do you think is, okay, I'm going to make this real easy for Mark. Hamas, bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easy bad guy to you, right? Why?
Right.
Why is Hamas bad guy to you?
Why?
Yeah, no, I'm curious because I want to explain how I'm viewing this, but I want you to tell me how you view Hamas first.
They're fucking terrorists, okay? Anyone that would kick down the door of someone's house and murder children is a fucking terrorist.
100% agree.
Okay.
That's what I believe Israel is as well.
Okay.
So how you look at Hamas is how I look at Israel Hamas.
I don't disagree with that, but I have yet to see any unprovoked actions by Israel that did that. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, and then I would say the same thing and agree with you. But what I'm saying is, if the Palestinians took over Israel and completely turned it into their country and annihilated all the Jews, if you think that they're stopping there, you're wrong, because it's not the land. The land is only part of it, dude.
No, it's the whole thing too. It's the Palestinians. No one's ever really owned that land. The Byzantines had it. The Roman Empire had it. The British Empire had it. Palestine is the name that the Roman armies gave it because that was not its name. To me, Palestinians, what we're missing the point here is I don't view it as Palestine and Israel. I view it as one religious extremist group filled with terrorists against another religious.
The Israelis were Palestinians.
One is funded by the West, and one is funded by the East. To me, they're both just as bad. They're both being funded in for the wrong reasons, and those two groups are suffering because of it. Majority of those civilians, people just going to synagogue and doing their thing. People going to their, I don't know what you call in Islam. What's their temple called or their church called? Does anyone know?
Mosque.
Mosque, right?
The
majority of the 9 to 5 people aren't these people, but extremists have taken over in both circumstances, and the West is seeing it as a money grab, and so aren't the Saudis. They're going to fund the Palestinians. They're going to give them tanks and weapons and do all that stuff and make a ton of money off of it. And the United States is going to make a ton of money with Halliburton contracts going there and weapon defense systems. I'm just saying, how does the most armed country in the entire world shut down for 6 hours so somebody shooting potato launchers is killing people in Israel? I'm just saying, it seems sketchy that your defenses fall. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can't.
Also,
the Iron Dome is probably one of the most fucking, that's like Transformers Aliens type shit that fucking thing does. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most advanced.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's like one of the most advanced weapon systems on the face of the fucking earth. I mean, that thing blows everything out of the fucking sky, and it just didn't. Like Seth said, it just stopped working for like 6 hours, which is really crazy, dude. It is really crazy, dude. It is really crazy.
I know how to end all this. You do this simple thing. You blare this. Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. They'll all fucking just stop.
Yes, they'll all stop.
The easiest thing is ask your current politicians when they go for re-election, did you give money to Israel and did you give money to Palestine? If either one of those answers is yes, you do not have my vote. If you're sending taxpayer money when we're homeless, when there's a mental health crisis going on in this country, like what just happened in Maine.
People dying of fucking,
you know what I'm saying?
Fentanyl fucking poisoning. Yeah.
Incompetence running rampant in this country. Kids who can't read at a 5th grade reading level because public schools are fucked. Infrastructure's fucked. But we have money to give a nation this goddamn big $100 billion.
I mean,
well,
goddamn.
We can't have free education.
Science.
We can give it $100 billion. I'm just saying.
Magnets, how do they work?
For 10 years with that money.
Magnets, how do they work?
Like that.
Seth is, I mean, like, I know, I could see by the way Mark's body language. Mark's body language tells a huge story here. Mark's body language is telling me that
I don't have.
He wants to. I want you guys to, and this is why I brought this up because it's a current event. It's really like fucking, like I said, it's all completely off topic, but it's definitely, I think, going to be a reality going into the winter months that there could be a very bad conflict happening. With the U.S. sending actual, mobilizing troops to send over there, that is not fucking, that is the last thing we want. Because I personally think, like, dude, I don't know, dude. I think it's going to cause, it's going to cause a problem one way or the other. We all know that they're not going over there to help the Palestinians, even though all the kids in the schools and colleges everywhere are like, save the Palestinians, free Palestine, da-da-da-da-da. We all know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That being said, not only does that cause strife over there, but it's going to cause strife over here. More
to
bullshit
send kids from here to go over and deal with that bullshit.
I think
we have
it's
to use
fucking
taxpayer money.
It's gross. It's all our this could very easily lead to a situation where young men and women are being fucking drafted into the selective service. This could easily turn into something that your sons,
recruiting is
my daughters,
all-time low in this country. I've got two boys that could potentially get dragged into this.
Exactly.
And that's my point. I don't want to see any of these
I don't
kids
want
go.
that either. I don't want that either.
You know what I mean? I'm past my prime, and so it's like I got no dog in the fight. But I don't want to see young men, young women go over there and die because America wants to make 10% on their investment. I'm good with it. I'm good.
We have
If you wanted to drown out Hamas, you could have done it in 2 weeks. You don't want to get rid of Hamas because it creates conflict and it creates friction.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing. When you fucking go into the fucking, when you go into the neighborhood and you fucking root out the fucking mob, then the Crips and the Bloods are just gonna take over.
What up, Johnny B?
You know what I'm saying? And if you root out the Crips and the Bloods, then fucking MS-13 takes over. You know what I mean? It's just, it's one asshole after another asshole.
Yeah, people are human beings.
Yeah.
And greed, corruption, and owning shit is what we do. Hairless monkeys floating around on a blue planet, and we beat the shit out of each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's in the past 100 years we've figured out maybe that's not the best move.
For all of his faults, I feel like if fucking Orange Man Bad was in there right now, this wouldn't even be a thing. I'm sorry.
No, Ukraine would not have been invaded. Okay, he still would have his boot on the throat of fucking Iran, who's doing billions of dollars a week in oil revenues because Biden's not enforcing the sanctions that Trump put in place. Okay, they wouldn't have the money to do all this. This costs a lot of money. Okay, that's the bottom line. Look, you're never going to rid this world of bad people.
No.
There's always going to be groups of
stop going to war, and Trump didn't go to war for 4 years, man.
Yeah.
Right.
He also didn't send aid to Israel all the goddamn time.
If you remember, there's 100 news media people going, oh, here comes World War III. Trump's going to get us into a World War III. Okay, he took out two major fucking
conflicts.
Soleimani and the other one fucking bombed their shit. Okay,
and homeboy went to North Korea.
Right.
You know, like homeboy went to North Korea, bro.
Right. That little fucker.
Kim Jong Un down there kicking with whatever the fuck his name is.
Kim Jong Un.
You know what I mean?
Was
like,
man. I was watching this special. Shane Gillis was talking about Trump when they killed that guy from Baghdad. Mm-hmm. He came on in like the middle of the night. He's like, he's dead. They went in with like the robots and killed him with the dogs.
No one's ever been deader than he's been dead.
He's like cried like a baby.
He cried like a baby.
Baby Baghdaddy. He's like, I'd cry too if someone came in the middle of the night with 7 robots and 6 dogs.
I would have that all day.
Could you imagine waking up to that though?
Fucking Johnny Five in your face.
Hey, could you imagine waking up to that though?
Bombs in there, so they went in through the side wall. Imagine you wake up out of your sleep and there's just like 7 drone robots and dogs
just fucking just going nuts on you, dude. Wow.
And that's one thing with the U.S. Like, here's I'll give them credit. Like, if they make a point, if they want to make a point,
I like his analogy. He's like, it would be terrible if Navy SEALs were gay. He goes, they just break into your house, hold you down, and then jerk you off and leave. He goes, what would you do? You know what I mean? Like, hey, come back here, you jerk me off.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Shane Gillis. Clearly you're not following along.
And he talks about, like, he does a really good Trump impression, but he talks about, he's like, you can tell this is his first time involved in anything like this because the way he talked about it, he's like, cried like a baby. It was funny. Like,
I saw that. He goes, he did it for 45 minutes, off the cuff, cried like a dog. You know what, though? I would rather have that all day long compared to this child.
Scared the shit out of everybody else in the world who wanted to do it.
That's right, because they don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah. He was also, I mean, I do have to give him credit. He would say wild shit that made me laugh, and I like that.
Well, this is the thing.
His foreign policy was pretty good, man.
This is the thing.
Right, it was.
This is the thing, though.
Pretty good foreign.
This is the thing, though. I mean, what are we gonna have? We can't have Emperor Trump.
No.
And
look,
you have to have
from what I've seen, from what I've seen, there does not seem to be anyone that's gonna be in line or anybody like that that's coming along that even seems remotely good for the country to be leading it. It almost seems like, and I could be way completely off base here, but it almost seems like if you just got dudes that, you know, got a good moral compass and know how to run a fucking business, it would probably, just like regular dudes would be way better at running this country than career politicians. I think that's the root of all of this is,
look,
there's a very small, like, what'd you say, Seth? The 2%. There's a 2%, and then there's the 98%. The 2% runs the 98%. It's really like
The problem is we are, unfortunately, we are a nation of corporations now that their interests and their lobbying has gotten rid of any of our ability to make decisions for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I view myself as a capitalist, but I also run a 5-person company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have access to trillions of dollars to buy whatever it is that I want to do. You know what I mean? That's like lobbyists and so this, you can say you're right or you're left, like DeSantis or this guy or that. Who bought you? Who's paying for you to do and make the moves? You're not making policies for the people that you're elected for. You're making policies for the corporations.
But see, that goes back to what TJ said. Trump couldn't have been bought. He didn't need their fucking money.
The problem is even if we get it, we only have another 4 years.
No, I understand that. You're correct on that. Okay, but here's the thing. It's a fact now. I mean, fucking tea leaves. Peace through strength, right? What happened when we had Jimmy Carter? They had our hostages in Iran. Guess what happened the day Carter took over? Or Reagan took over. They gave us our fucking hostages back, no questions asked. Because he knew we'd go in and fucking annihilate him. Just like when Trump took over.
I think Mark hit the nail right on the head there, but also it's to Seth's point again. So what Seth is saying is like at the root of what you're saying, Mark, is like they have the capability to do that. If they wanted, if the United States wanted to swing its fucking big, giant, veiny BBC and fucking smash, just take out whatever the fuck they wanted, they could do that. They could snuff this problem out.
Hamas would be gone in 6 hours.
Yes. 6 hours?
Like
try like, 2.
How many people are in Hamas? Like in that Hamas group? What are you going to say?
Right, maybe
100,000?
Maybe.
Thick and meaty.
Maybe
100,000 people versus the United States military power.
I mean, just think about it for a second.
If you didn't want Hamas there, they'd be gone.
They'd be gone.
And
this is
hell of a lot cheaper than $100 billion fucking dollars to do it. You could buy an army to go do that for 2 days. It would be less money than that.
Yes. Yes. You're right. You're right.
What is that $100 billion really doing? Where's that money going? And which politician's pockets is 80% of that
All
money?
I know is eggs are expensive as fuck, and so is gas, and I don't like it because I like fucking eggs and I like driving.
Gone down here.
Good for you.
2 Gatorades and a pack of cigarettes.
That's great.
Fuck.
Yeah. Say that again.
I paid $20 for 2 Gatorades and a pack of cigarettes.
Yes.
It was like $19.15.
Yeah. You can't eat lunch,
we have more money
fast
to give
food for less than $20.
I'm not saying that we all should be on a welfare state. We should get what we want, but god damn, shit's expensive. God damn.
We pay. I don't know. Maybe the taxes should provide a fucking service for the people. You take 38% of my pay. Can I have something for it?
No, because they're giving your money to these fuckers that are walking across the border. That's where your money is going.
To the fuckers who run.
No, he's right. We're not giving any. What we're giving them ain't shit compared to what we're sending overseas. Trillions.
You shouldn't be giving anybody any fucking money. Go fight your own shit.
I would vote. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, and RFK would never do it. But you want to talk about fucking setting the paradigm on its fucking ear? Trump and fucking RFK running together on the same ticket.
If they could pull it off,
that would change. That I personally think that would change that would set the world on its fucking ear.
Pardon my ignorance.
What?
I'm not into politics and stuff, but who is RFK?
Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., Bobby Kennedy's son.
Okay.
That would be JFK's nephew.
He's the guy who has kind of the messed up voice.
He's got a fucked up voice. He was an alcoholic. Now he's a TRT fucking swole machine.
Yeah. Jacked out of his mind. He's 70 years old.
Yeah, he's fucking jerked.
He's got some great ideas that I think are a little wild.
His book, The Real Anthony Fauci, might be one of the most scathing fucking books I've ever listened to in my entire life. I didn't read it. I audiobooked it. And if you've not listened to RFK Jr.'s book, you should fucking listen to it while you're cleaning windows. The shit that dude, it's absolutely fucking crazy. And it's like a microcosm of the system and what we're talking about right now. The powers that be. It's fucking crazy.
Trust me, they're never going to put him in office. He's never going to get to office.
John, I don't think you're wrong about that. Turd sandwich versus giant douche every election. That's exactly it, too, dude. Right? That's exactly it.
The only reason you need a president in this country is for foreign policy. That is.
Jason said RFK Jr. is Hunter Biden at 65, period. You're a fucking goof. You're a fucking goof. One's a fucking crackhead and the other was an alcoholic.
Hunter Biden's not going to make it to 65.
Yeah. Not only that, he's never going to make it to 65, like Seth said. And thirdly, RFK Jr. is I would say at least smart. You know what I mean? At least smart.
Oh, Hunter Biden's a fucking idiot.
I know 3 heroin addicts, Jason Lehman, that would peel your fucking wig back if you knew who they were. But either way, I'm not saying that there's not a road to recovery or anything like that, but RFK isn't a fucking sniveling, fucking behind the back, fucking working for fucking yellow dudes motherfucker, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, dude. That's just my personal
yellow dudes, come on.
Yellow dudes?
They are yellow. They're fucking cowards. Anyone that does back dealing, fucking behind the scenes, fucking leave 10% for, they're all yellow in my opinion. You guys are fucking. I know what you guys thought I meant. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I only heard part of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that did come out bad. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. But all that fucking shit that they fucking that they're doing with buying secrets and buying favors and shit, that's the most, in my opinion, the most cowardly yellow thing you could fucking possibly fucking do. That's just, it's treason. That's
and it should
the
be
worst thing.
Yeah.
You should be fucking shot for that.
Well, no, because I've heard the statement. As Americans, we have the right to carry. Mm-hmm. How much longer do we let this go on before we start killing them? Like, how long do we let politicians do this?
Unalive.
My bad.
You gotta say unalive.
Unalive. These people. When are we gonna French Revolution guillotine? Like, how many more things do they have to take away from us, and how many more things do they need to involve us in before we just go, you guys are not working for the American people anymore?
Well, that's up to the people, and if you don't think there's shit building, it probably is, you know. It probably is.
That's the whole reason that amendment is there, is against a tyrannical government.
Well, this is the thing.
Well, I hate to break it to you, we live in a tyrannical government.
This is the thing. Until, and that's the last thing in the world I would want, until Americans, and when I say that, I'm talking about the glittery dildoed pink and purple haired ones, and the Karens living in their gated communities, until it's at their front fucking door.
Oh my.
You're never going to see a revolution like that. It's never going to happen. It's going to have to coincide. One hand's going to have to wash the other for that to happen.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? People are going to have... There's going to have to be something like 9/11 level type of stuff happening.
Right.
In order for people to wake up.
These people think because they have a coexist bumper sticker on the back of their car and they're standing in the streets for a ceasefire for Palestine, if they believe that they wouldn't be immediately fucking taken out, go over there with your coexist bumper sticker, get out in the street and watch what happens to you. You will
be unalived.
They will tie you to a stake and throw stones at you until you are unalived.
Or if you're queer, they're going to throw you off a fucking building.
What's that, babe? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Unfortunately, the protests now are government-sanctioned activities, so they're all safe and protected. But I mean, in reality, both groups hate you. Hate you at the core. Hate you for who you are and why you exist. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm just saying, off air, Mark, I'll give you some stuff you can read, and I think your opinion might start falling more in line with mine.
I'm not saying, Seth, that you're wrong. I'm just saying I've never seen the Israelis do that offensively. Okay? Look, if some asshole walks into an open air market in Israel and blows himself up and kills 5 people, if this is extreme when the Israelis take out the entire fucking family, okay, because that's what they do. They will take out the entire fucking family, the kids, the dogs, the grandma. Okay, if that's extreme, I have no problem with that when some asshole kills innocent people in an open air market, let's say. Okay, I have yet to see, and I'm not saying it's not true, that they've just walked into people's houses and slaughtered fucking women and children.
They have books about us and what they actually feel about us. Us, Americans, Europeans, Christians. They have books written about us, just like the Quran, that's just as bad. And they don't believe that we deserve to be on this planet.
That's the
so what I'm saying
that's
is
actually true.
One is U.S. run, and we go good guys, and one is Middle East run, bad guys. But in reality, they're both bad guys. And they both need to go. And what I'm saying is we've been conditioned for 50 years from politicians and family members to believe that what they're doing is a just and right duty. Have you ever noticed it's the only opinion that both the liberals and Republicans for 50 years have ever agreed upon is Israel.
Viva la resistance!
What I'm just saying, it's just like, but why is that the case? Because that's your ticket in. If you say a word about Israel as a politician, you are done. You are done in America for the last 50 years. What I'm saying is
that's not true. Wait a minute. That is not true. You got
what? Yesterday, that one lady?
What's her name? In Congress?
Whoa.
What's her name? Talib and AOC, and they fucking speak against Israel all the time.
Did you hear what he called her?
What?
Don't repeat it. It's so
I didn't hear it. I missed it.
What does Mark sell?
Towels?
Yeah. Dude.
Listen,
fuck.
That's not true. Okay, we have them in
until today. Do you remember ever in your lifetime until today that if you talk bad about Israel, it was okay?
I never said that. What I'm saying is, you said that. What I'm saying is, we have them in Congress. There's several of them. Talib, the one that humped her brother. What's the other one that married her brother?
Okay, but you're worried about them being in there.
I'm not worried about it. They don't belong there.
How many dual citizens?
No, what he's no. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is you said nobody can fucking be in politics and stand against Israel, and he says that woman does.
Right. Like after 9/11, that's.
And I mean, as far as historically, you're correct. But as of right now, you are incorrect.
But it's there. Okay, it is there. Right? But here's the thing. That fucking idiot stood up there and said, because some people did something, fuck you. I'm going to shut up. But that shit should not be happening in our fucking country. I'm sorry.
I'm asking you, do you know how many people have dual citizenship with Israel in Joe Biden?
I have no idea.
47. 47 people in Joe Biden's cabinet have dual citizenship with Israel. If that is not an agenda, I don't know what to tell you. If you had 47 devout Catholics, people would be like, can you believe he has all these Catholics that are working for him? Well, there must be a reason why the evangelical right is going to be taking over America. But if it's a dual citizenship, Israel, I mean, they have...
Okay, so then if he's got 47 people working under him, why did he fucking release hundreds of millions of dollars to the Palestinians?
To make money. To make money.
Cause the conflict. To then be able to give Israel $100 billion.
The world is a stage. The world is a stage. Everyone thinks that fucking conspiracies aren't fucking real. What about the Gulf of Tonkin? What about the Gulf of Tonkin? They made that shit up. Say that, Seth?
I said, we all know that the Bay of Pigs is a government-funded thing. The second that happens, everything is an act. Everything is a stage. Everything. None of these conflicts are by accident, or that we hear about them, or that we're told to like one side and then we see this. Do you know the only difference is TikTok actually gives you live footage that you can see, unadulterated, without an opinion, and then you can decide.
Right.
And
that is the. I will tell you that. I will say that.
Shit.
Yep. Everyone kind of shits on TikTok. It's the Chinese spying on us. Well, guess what?
Americans like laughing.
Guess what? Guess what? You fuck. Hey, guess what? You fucking retards. They can listen. All they. Oh, sorry, Jay Camaro. Wherever you go with this, it doesn't matter which fucking app's on it, my guys. It doesn't matter which app's on it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, your phone's blinking right now. They're
blinking.
listening.
Look.
Oh, what's up?
So, with that being said, I mean, it's really strange to me, anyways, that this is all. It seems to be like a surprise to everybody. You know what I mean? Like the things that people say on the news, and like, what is surprising about this? Like, we can't really give any more money to the Ukraine. You know what I mean? We can't. I mean, we gotta. We need some way to
find another way to funnel it in.
Yeah, we got it.
Let me ask you something. Okay, I want to ask. We're gonna switch gears here a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've heard this online.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody notice that we can watch, like you say, with TikTok and even in the mainstream news of what's going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis, and now we're getting people hurt, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But this war in Ukraine's been going on for, a year now?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see anything about it. You don't see any live footage. Is it even fucking happening?
Kids partying in Tel Aviv. They're showing videos. They're just like hanging out in Tel Aviv partying. And we're sending money to
parties.
Dude, the reason why you're not seeing that on television, Mark, is because they are rolling around in brand new fucking cars. You know what I mean? They're like fucking living high on the hog right now. It's total fucking. The world is a stage, man, and that what really burns and sticks in my craw is, like Seth said, 38% of all of our income is going towards this fucking shit.
They've convinced us that if you wanted an education in this country, you're lazy. They've convinced us if we want infrastructure, work harder. Why? We could have just used the money you gave to Israel to have all of that right now. We could have all of it. We could have everything.
Yep.
We could have
if the money that we
society.
Yeah. Yeah, the capital is there, you know what I mean, like, to do it. It just seemed, I mean, case in point, what happened in Maui. A fraction of that money that we sent over there to both places, a fraction of that money could have rebuilt every single fucking house that burnt down. What happened? They cut them a $700 check. As someone that lives in a fucking in a place where your home could be easily scraped off the fucking face of the earth by rain and wind, Mark and Jacob, you guys probably know that better than anybody. That the government really don't do shit. They could barely get you guys fucking water sometimes. Right. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And the fact that they're willing to fucking just chunk out $100 billion fucking dollars within a couple weeks should give every American pause. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? What?
I mean, really, it should be America first in Americans' minds. It should be. Because
I promise you that every other country on the fucking face of the earth is like us first. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're the humanitarians, and I say that jokingly because I think 90% of the problems that are going on in the world are because we stick our fucking nose in shit we shouldn't stick our nose in. You know what I mean? I think we do it for profit. We fucking stoke conflict. We don't snuff it out. You can't have stealth fucking drones that will like fucking annihilate all comers and fucking be like, oh, we can't stop this. We don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like,
we are the grand puppet masters.
Yeah, dude.
Of the world stage. Dude. And if we don't think that we are, I mean, this is why some countries look at us the way that they do, and why we look at our own country this way sometimes. Is why are we involved in this? Why is this? Why are, like, you know what I mean? They're like, well, you know, Saudi Arabia's going to do this. Okay, they're still doing it. You know what I mean? Qatar's going to commit the human rights violations that they're committing everywhere. We haven't stopped or changed anything in the Middle East. Iraq was a waste of fucking time. Afghanistan was a waste of time. We didn't achieve one goal other than to make money. All we got out of that.
Yeah.
And then
the Middle East wars. Yeah.
We forget, right? And Israel will be the same thing. It'll be some
I'll never forget.
conflict.
I'll never forget any of the Middle East conflict because I had my white Desert Storms hoodie on, eating popcorn, watching the war on TV with my mama and my papa. That was like a shining moment in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this is like the craziest thing. They're fighting on television. We're watching it on television. We go to Walmart. We all got our Desert Storm shirts on. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never forget that shit. I'll also never forget fucking standing. I was a maintenance man in a hotel and watching on had the TV going on in the background. And like a plane flew into the World Trade Center towers and it's fire and smoking and everything. And I'm standing there watching it. And then all of a sudden, boom! Another fucking plane hits. And I was
I'll never forget that. I was cleaning windows on a two-story building. And
I'll never forget that.
I was in the 9th grade.
One of the CEOs come out of the building and he's like, "Hey man, you might want to come in here." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's got a big flat screen. And he's like, "Look at this shit." And after the first plane hit, then the second one hit. I go, "This ain't no fucking accident." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "I'm gonna finish the job. I'm going home."
You were in 9th grade
when that happened. Yeah.
Shut the fucking dogs up.
Yeah.
Are you 39 or 38?
I'm 38.
39. I was a senior in high school.
Seth, he repeated the 9th grade 17 times. I was going to say, how are we
3 grades apart?
I was supposed to be in 10th grade.
Oh, and I was young for my grade for senior year. Okay, that makes sense. I could have been a junior. Okay.
Yeah, I should have been a sophomore, but I didn't.
I was like, wait, do I not know how old you're supposed to be in every grade? I don't know what's going on. Shit, yeah, I was at homeroom. I remember that. Like, they tossed on the TV. I was in, like, my Votech class, and they're like, God damn it. Rolled the wheeling TV in, and everyone was freaking out. People are calling family members, like, do we need to leave school? Like, what do we got to do? I was...
My boss at the time.
Anything in school, like, for a week.
Dude, my Egyptian gas station attendant across the street from my house got his fucking ass kicked. They were like ripping his steins down. I'm like, dude, the guy's Egyptian. Like, he's like, like running for his life. It's crazy, dude. That's like one of those events you don't forget where you were.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a dark day. You know.
Probably the most united I ever felt the country feel
It was for about a year or two after, you know.
That's why they've switched their tactics now. Now they're not gonna do giant false flags where fucking a bunch of Americans die and you know it's a foreign power that has done it because that just unites people. Now they're just feeding people antidepressants and having them cut their dicks off, and then they go and they shoot people. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
that's what they're doing
about
now.
It like this. That was what 7, 8, or 9.
The last thing they want. The last thing they want is us all to agree on something.
Right.
They'd much rather us be fucking disassociated with each other, locked in our houses, don't talk to our neighbors, because if we're all unified, then they've got no power over us.
That's why they corrupted the youth to hate us. To be these little monster people and to think the way that they think was they're like, you know, I honestly feel it was a tactic on purpose. Infiltrate the schools, infiltrate the universities. Teach these kids that we're the worst people on the planet.
That's because the Soviets
and divide
did
and
that.
Conquer between
the Soviets did that. They're the Soviets are the cause for all this.
Yeah.
The Soviets did that.
What group was that of the Soviets? What were they?
I don't know. I think
who are the Marxists?
I'm pretty sure they were Zionists.
Yeah, Karl Marx.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Karl
like
Marx
that.
and all them dudes. Yeah, it's really strange. But that was like their plan. The KGB and all the Russian, that was their plan, is to infiltrate our universities, our professors, and then completely disrupt our fucking education system and then turn everyone in the colleges fucking communists. They're a bunch of communists.
Emasculating a population is much easier to take control of.
Yeah.
Their words, not mine.
Yeah. Because the last thing you want is a bunch of dudes with their dicks swinging and rifles. They want you fucking running around with fucking pixie dust and glitter and shit.
I mean, look at Russia.
And a tape between your legs.
You know what I mean? Look at
You
Poland.
just go to Target. They got fucking bathing suits you can tuck your cock into, so it's not sticking out. Dude.
A little kangaroo pouch I can put it in.
Yeah, I think there's a chick dude working at fucking Taco Bell, the window there. You know, she always looks like she's been shaving. Like she's always got stubble underneath her neck. She could have acne, but you know, she flirts with me a little bit, and I don't really like. It makes me super uncomfortable. I'm like, you know, just give me my Taco Bell. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go out on a date with you or anything. It's weird.
She's not you know, she's like,
chill, bro.
She's
Daddy,
like,
chill.
I can grow beer.
I remember I was at a Halloween party at a bar like 5 years ago, and two gentlemen dressed as
That's actually a really good question.
ladies of the night came and sat next to me and my friend, and I came down. They're like, "Hey boys, can we buy you a drink?" I'm like, "Listen, fellas, we're all set over here." And I'm like, "We're good. I can see your Adam's apple from across the bar."
Right.
And they offended that they got. I'm like, "You're 6'4" with like a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, beat it. Get out of here." And I think that was about 6 years ago when I first started to see that, like, oh, like, you can't just tell them to, like, screw anymore. Like, get out of here.
Well, this is actually a pretty good question, and you guys have to read me in on this because we might as well talk about this as well. But Swagger wants to know, tell me why we already know more about this Maine shooter than we do the Nashville trans shooter.
Well, he does have a good point. I think the second point, though, too, is this guy was a firearms instructor, Army Reserve, and he told people 2 weeks while he was in a stint exactly what he was going to do in the mental facility he was in, and then he went out and did it. Like, and he's also, like, highly trained with weapons and still on the run. So I think, I mean, the trans shooter, you should know about what that person did, killing children and staff, and they get a free pass because they're confused.
Wait, what now? Well, I don't know nothing about the other either. Either one. I know nothing
about the trans shooter. Went to a okay. So he was a student at a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
Later on in life, became a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Went into their old school and shot. I mean, this is an elementary school. Was shooting children and staff.
That's disgusting.
I think it was like 6 people or 7 people. They didn't really talk about it because
she was trans.
Yeah, because it was transgender, and it was, but went in and murdered children, like murdered children, and was talking and ranting, told people on Facebook what she was gonna do, or I can't remember. And I mean, I read up on it, but you had to dig to find that information. Like, you had to go to like weird news sources and like third page on Google, and like you had to look for it. Whereas this is scary white man shooting people. I get it. This is a much easier, palatable thing to be afraid of in mainstream media.
Palatable.
He has killed 18.
It's not palatable. It's not about palatability. It's about fucking the fact that there is a clear agenda within America. They just don't want to paint anyone that's transgender weak-minded or you know what I mean, doing shit. You know, because that would go against the current narrative.
That's what I meant by palatable.
Oh, okay.
Is they see that. I'm not saying to me. What I'm saying is, I am saying that this guy was a risk, and they knew it. I mean, he spent over the summer 2 weeks in a mental health facility, saying that he was going to kill people and he was going to go on a shooting spree, and he planned this. And now he's killed 18 and injured 13. I mean, he went into a bowling alley and like killed everybody in there. Like a fun time, playtime bowling alley, and then went into like a bar, I believe, and just shot everybody. They have camera footage, and he was armed to the teeth when he walked in.
Which one was this?
Lewiston, Maine guy, who's still on the run right now, as it was an hour ago. They said he might have fled to. I mean, that's only a couple hours from me. They said he was trying to flee to Boston. He had hideouts. He had maps. He's a weapons instructor on the side. He does. So this is like.
So he's out there fucking doing some John Wick shit, dude.
They're not gonna take that dude alive. They're gonna.
No.
There's no way this guy's. I'm curious with how much training this guy has and being in the Army Reserve since '04. If he planned this out, he's going to be tough to get. because he has a pretty good head start on him too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's gonna kill himself unalive himself before he gets caught. But
I don't think.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna do the whole blaze of glory deal. I don't think he go into this like I'm gonna shoot myself. You know what I mean? I think he goes. Yeah, I think he goes into this like there's going to be some sort of standoff. You know what I mean?
He's in the Tony Montana to go out and just freaking get.
There's clearly a mental health issue in the United States. There's clearly. We're being poisoned by the food that we eat. Well, and our doctors.
Dude, all I think like pretty much every single mass shooter has been on one of these Ritalins or, these as a child. These drugs.
Well, my son has a little ADHD. You know what I mean? He has a hard time focusing, and his mom and I just cannot. He's not doing the best in school. He does like good in certain subjects, but things like math he struggles with. It's hard for him to focus in on that shit, and I'm so afraid to put him on something. You know what I mean?
Dude, let me tell you something, JT. I don't know if it's a national thing. We have the a test that they take in third grade. And basically my wife was friends with a teacher at his elementary school, and she told my wife, she goes, here's what they're going to do with your son. They're gonna push him on to third grade where he has to take this FCAT test, and they're going to fail him. He's going to fail it, and they're going to hold him back. And they're not going to train him for the test. They're not going to teach him anything, and this and that. You need to. So the school wanted us to medicate him for ADHD, and my wife was like, "We're not doing that. It's absolutely not." So, if you get any kind of drug for ADHD or anything, you can never go in the military. Okay, they won't take you. Even the Army won't take you. So we put him in private school, and he graduated on time. He graduated with fucking honors, and he's doing great. He kind of outgrew it, but he still needs to be taught differently. His attention span is short, and he lacks focus. Okay, but he's really come around a lot. To medicate these kids, make them into zombies, that's not the fucking answer. Absolutely not. So I was just saying, T-Way, stuff away. Dude, don't medicate your kids.
I'm not going to
put them into a private school.
Well, this is where we have. This is what we have come down to. Like my wife has an actual parent teacher conference coming up, and this is the way we let. He clearly needs help. They're not giving it to him, which is also very strange to us.
Yeah.
And I'm of the mind, this is what I'm in the mind, and I could be completely wrong, because I don't know if I could afford private school, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I may be able to. I'll have to definitely look into it, but
there are programs that will
if at all else fucking fails, I will fucking homeschool his ass. My son's not going to be medicated to get through fucking school. It's not going to happen.
No.
I'm not saying the kid doesn't need math or anything like that, but I don't know if anyone's ever if anyone has a youngster, have you ever sat down and fucking, first of all, you have my son for 8 fucking hours. Why are you sending my son home with fucking 2 to 3, sometimes 4 hours worth of fucking homework every fucking night? You have 8 hours to teach my fucking son. You are not doing that. Now he has to come home and I have to help him with shit where you're teaching him completely fucking different than what you fucking taught me. And if I show him the way that I was taught, it's wrong.
Yeah. There's accommodations you can get that we got for JT when he was still in the public system that would give him extra time to do tests, extra time to do homework and stuff like that.
Well, they have those programs, but for whatever reason, my son is not in that program.
Because you got to stand up for it. That's why.
Well, that's what she's going to do. This is the way we look at it. The window cleaner, you might be right about. It's around $450 much, which is a lot of money. I'm not making Trump times money. I'm making Biden times money right now. So everything more expensive, bro. I'm just saying, in the current landscape of things, I really can't afford that. It would be different if the world was not the place that it is right now. It would be completely different. But
right.
I don't know how you expect young boys to sit still and learn for 8 hours a day.
It's
not a conducive way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Your camera's frozen again.
Yeah, he knows. I just you have 8 hours to teach my fucking son. Why are you sending my son home with 3 to 4 fucking hours worth of fucking homework every fucking night and on the weekends too? He gets sent home a pile of fucking shit on the weekends. It's like,
my
what
son
are
doesn't
you?
have hardly any homework.
My son's in junior high. Yeah, I don't know. So that may be the
Mine's
workload
in
may
fourth
be a
grade.
little bit more, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if it's fucking senior year in high school. You have 8 hours. You know what I accomplish? What do we accomplish as business owners in 8 fucking hours? Think about
A
that.
living.
A living.
Yeah.
Now my son goes to school, and now he has to have a part-time job to fucking learn.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Most teachers nowadays.
They don't give a fuck.
My brother's a elementary school teacher, and his wife is a vice principal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've got a lot of information from him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teachers are there for the job. They don't give a fuck about Uriah. They don't.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
it's unfortunate.
yeah.
But you and your wife need to stand up and get the accommodations that he deserves.
I'm going to be honest with you about this. This really, it showed reared its head a little bit last year, but I'm of the mind that now he's in junior high. He's switching classes. He's a little fella, you know what I mean? Of course.
Yep.
So he's, on the spectrum of.
It's the roughest year for.
It's a super. It's sixth grade. You know what I mean? He's first year in junior high. He's got to put his shit in his locker every morning. He's got.
Yeah.
Big kids that he's got to deal. It's a big change. So I'm like, maybe by the middle of the school year we'll have a better grip on him, because he seems to be doing a little bit better. But if they, like, when Jennifer goes in and speaks with them, if they don't accommodate him the way we feel that he needs to be accommodated, I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm not going to let my son fall behind. I'm definitely not going to allow my son to get held back.
Yeah.
Because that'd be, think about that. Think about that for a second.
Someone else isn't doing their job.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Look, when I went, JT's last public school was third grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into the parent-teacher conference with he changed classes for three classes. He got 3 teachers, that year. His home class, his main class, we're sitting there. The teacher sits here, and then all the kids are here, and then they have like cubbies where they put their folders and all their shit, right? So we're just sitting there. I'm listening to this teacher saying how my son's not doing what he's supposed to do and what they're expecting of him. And I go, let me ask you a question. Why is one cubby over there different than all the others? And she's just looking at me, I don't know. And I go, well, that happens to be my son's. I go, when my son comes home to me and goes, and he's upset because he didn't get to take class pictures because he didn't bring home the form for mom to give him a check for class pictures. I go, and your desk sits there and looks at that cubby and doesn't realize that my little third grader, who needs to be taught differently, is not doing what he's supposed to. And if you took 2 minutes of your day and explained to him, you need to take that home to your parents, because there's certain forms that need to be signed. There's picture day. There's this, there's that. I go, and you just sit there and allow him to leave every day without fucking doing what he's supposed to? Isn't it your job to well, by third grade, I go, he's fucking 8 years old.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter by third grade. By fucking 10th grade. Your job is to teach my fucking child, you fucking dolt.
Right. Well, the problem became...
Your job is to make sure that he takes that shit home, no matter what grade he's fucking in.
There's a lot of parents that don't give 2 fucks, and they expect the teachers to raise their children. There's different...
I understand that. And that's definitely not the case for me.
Obviously not having a discussion about it.
You know what I mean? So, it floors me, to be quite honest, that... like, his handwriting is atrocious.
Yeah.
And you almost need a cryptographer, like someone that can read hieroglyphics to read this kid's handwriting. And
Is he left-handed?
No, he's right. He's a righty.
He's righty.
Yeah, and part of it, I think, is that my son just fucking like, all right, I'm gonna write this shit because this bitch won't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he just won't take the time to do it. Because if his father, if I sit down with him and do it, I'm more of the mind, like, I wouldn't say I'm more patient than Jennifer, but I'm a little more direct with him than Jennifer is. And I'm like, just relax, bro. You know what I mean? Like, when he starts going, you can see his handwriting gets better. But I asked Jennifer, I was like, because Uriah, I mean, essentially Uriah taught himself how to read. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but, my son was cross-eyed pretty bad. He had a really lazy eye. He'd fucking, when he was a little feller, it was super pronounced. And, they were like, they were doing weird shit with him, clamping his fucking head down and doing all these weird fucking, like, it was so bad I about beat the shit out of the eye doctor. You know what I mean? Like, I almost fucked him up. You know what I mean? It was bad. And I told Jennifer, I was like, he's never going to keep them fucking glasses on his fucking face. So we're going to have to duct tape those things to this kid's fucking face. You know what I'm saying? So the doctor's like, you need to get him to do this, do that, so to exercise that eye. So what I did is I stuck a PlayStation controller in his fucking hand and just turned on Battlefield 3, and I was like, play this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had to get him in and out of the cars and shit so he could drive around and shoot shit. But over time, his eye actually got better, and the doctor's like,
because he was focused on the game.
They're like, how did you? And I put a PlayStation controller in his hand. I set him in front of the television. I had a little TV next to my TV. I'd play video games while, and he was so little and his immune system was so bad. Jennifer worked at night. I worked during the day. So I'd be at home with Uriah and he'd sit on the couch next to me and he'd do his thing while I was doing my thing. You know what I mean? So he actually fixed his fucking eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
To get to that, what I'm getting to is this little motherfucker started spelling shit in YouTube to find it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like he
was sounding it out and figuring
yes,
it out. Yeah.
And this fucking little turd burglar figured out how to start searching because we were always searching for shit. Dad, will you find this? Dad, will you find that? But he watched me and Jennifer type shit, and he actually learned.
Yeah.
And then taught himself how to fucking read essentially and write on fucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I know the kid's got it in him, but the problem is, school is boring as fuck to him. It's the worst thing in the fucking world. The kid's smart as a fucking whip. He loves science. He loves history. He does really well in both. But English and math, he's like, man, what the fuck? I know how to talk. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares what a verb is? You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, TJ...
And if I need to add something, I'll just pull out my phone. That's what Uriah is thinking. You understand what I'm saying?
My opinion is someone who's been there with a very similar situation. Okay, he's up there. My kid was in 3rd grade when I yanked his fucking ass out. But you and Jennifer need to step in and do one of two things. Look at your options. They're not all expensive. There are alternative schools nationally that... My kid went to a school with 8 kids in the fucking class, and it's a work at your own pace. So, like, dude, when he really got it, and he started it at 4th grade there, and then, dude, by 10th grade, the first 6 months of school, he was done with fucking the year. So he went on to the next year. And then I've told you the story. He came to me and he's like, Dad, I want a real prom. I want to meet friends. I got 8 fucking people in here with me. And I'm like, okay, JT, because you only needed half his credits to graduate high school. He walked in there, and you know that story. But my point is, you got to stand up for him and get him, even if it's homeschool. When COVID hit, I was paying for, listen to this shit, because my wife is way smarter than me. We're paying for the online home, it was private school, and everything was online. So my wife says to him, when you go to school, is this the same thing you do? You log on to this fucking, She's like, then what do I need to put you in that fucking school? You understand what I'm saying? So we homeschooled him his last 6 months in 11th grade. He was so far ahead, and because he didn't have distractions of that was his issue, was distractions.
Yeah, that's Uriah's problem too. He's I'm not saying it's his entire problem, but
Yeah,
a large part of the problem is he's distracted, easily distracted at that. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I wouldn't have graduated high school without trade school. I mean, for me, it allowed me to move around, do stuff. Like I would have dropped out. I would have dropped out of high school.
I went to vocational school in 10th and
I went to vocational school too. Yeah.
I mean, I really, my dad knew pretty quick, and he's like 8th grade. He was like, "You got to go to something else."
You know, this trade school that I went to, I went, and our whole entire senior year was about building a home. The whole class went out every morning and worked all day, normal school hours, and went home. All we did was build this house. They don't do that anymore.
No, they do here.
I'm not saying where we're at. Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Well, they changed it.
My son's high school has a program for Habitat for Humanity. They physically build a fucking house and give it, and they build it as much as they can in the shop, and the kids are involved. And the teacher, I sat there with the teacher, and the teacher goes, "Look, if they show up every day and swing a hammer one time a day, they pass my class." Right. He goes, "There's going to be kids that are not interested in this and are here for an easy time." He goes, "But if they want to learn how to measure, how to cut," and my kid accelerated at it. He did very well.
I feel like that's something kind of lost on this newer generation is working with your hands. I see it with. Go ahead.
They have some different stuff like now for like Uriah's age. What I was saying is like they have a 3D printing class where they go in and these kids are all making their own home arcade cabinets. But they're like CNCing, doing all this stuff. Right. And like some of these kids in senior year are already getting jobs like down the street. They're like, yeah, you already know more than half the guys who work.
Right.
So I mean, the trades are evolving, and there are some more options. But I don't know. I mean, should be
good. Should be good. He says. What happened?
Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I got caught in a really awkward position.
It's like, my new chef.
Sorry, dude. Guys.
Sorry, dude.
You guys aren't frozen. Before, everything was frozen. I'm like,
well, Seth looks like he's fucking Stephen Hawking over there. Stephen Hawking over there.
Right.
Anyone ever quoted dirty windows inside and out? Customers only want the outside, then complains about it not looking any different since the insides look like shit. I mean, you must be brand new. I don't know. Like once a week. Like.
What I would do is I would state it in your invoice system. If you have an invoice or if you send them over an estimate, be like, your insides do need to be cleaned. You're opting for outside only. Like, if you make that, or just come in when you finish the outside, just like run your finger on one window, go like that. Like, are you happy with that?
We can't see you.
How that looks? Remember? I had a lady who was pointing from the inside in every window that I was doing, and doing that thing where she's like, "Oh, you missed the spot here," and I finally just went inside, and I'm like, right here, and I was just wiping I'm like, you should just have me do the inside of the goddamn windows.
Yeah,
I'm
with you, Seth. Like, I have a little patience, but if you start following me around and pointing at shit, I'm gonna just walk. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, walk to the front door, and ring the fucking doorbell.
Right.
And then I'm gonna be like, if you want me to clean the inside, I'll clean the inside too. I don't need you. I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't need you to point spots to me. The spots are on the inside. That's why I suggested cleaning the inside as well. That's why when I fucking bid a job, Henry Morales, when I bid a fucking job, I tell them straight away that if you don't, you'd be much more better off if you clean the insides. But if you don't, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not a residential guy, but I would propose it's going to cost you $175 for the outside, $150 for the inside. What do you want? We want the outside. Well, okay. I suggest you do the inside because kind of like painting the car before you fucking sand it down.
That's what I tell them. I tell them I would suggest a first time cleaning doing it inside and out, just because you'll get the full effect. But if you don't want to pay for, if you don't want to pay for that, I'm just going to let you know they're not going to look 100% because the insides are just as bad as the outsides. Oh, I clean the insides myself. Okay, swirly McSwirly, son. You know what I mean?
You're bad at it.
Hey, nice swirls there. I use newspaper and vinegar. It looks great.
Right. Looks like you.
I got all these extra diapers for my grandson.
Yeah. You do that.
Henry, I agree with you that it is stupid to complain. Unfortunately, you
It's
and
part
me
of the
have
business.
decided to work in a service industry, and there are stupid people in service industries.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some
are
people are going to be happy and ezy to explain to, and then some people are going to be this, smooth brain.
I usually not when I do an inside and out. I'm gonna be honest. When I do an inside and out, I normally knock a little off on the inside. I don't charge them equally for inside and out. Like, if I coordinate
Usually 60-40 split.
Yeah, I usually do a 60-40 on an inside and out. You know what I mean? Just because, it just seems to work out better for me that way. I close a lot more inside and out. And I deal with way less fucking bullshit like that because of it. You know what I mean?
Why do the windows still look dirty?
The amount of go box I don't have to do when I do in and out is insane. Outside only, I almost always
almost every fucking time. Every fucking time. Yeah, every time. Unless
it's a customer that I do like in and out early in the season, and then they have me do out in the fall.
Then that's different.
I'm like, okay, that's cool.
But you're at least maintaining the fucking inside so it looks good. But if you're just like fucking spraying Windex on, well, if it was a storefront, well, they're fucking idiots. Because there's nothing worse than a dirty storefront.
That's got to be a big storefront for 150 outside, 150 inside.
Fuck yeah, that's a big ass bitch.
That's more like a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
I can tell you this: my storefronts are all priced with one inside per month, unless it's.
Oh look, Jacob, the off-topic show. We're talking about window cleaning. Is that okay with you?
Right. Yeah, Jacob.
I'm just kidding, Jacob. I know you didn't mean it like that. I know you.
Jacob, do you want any more sponsors to not sponsor us?
Yeah.
Anymore?
Is there anyone else you'd like to insult while we're at it? Like, can you say something bad about Richie and Casper, please?
Why would I want to talk about Richie and Casper?
I'm just talking bad about.
What does that mean? Crashing the Dutch.
Yeah.
There's only two things I hate in this world: people intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
I don't know. I will say
and
that.
Is he Dutch?
Who?
Casper.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain he is.
Okay.
He wore those wooden clogs the time I met him.
That's
that's not me.
I think he's from the Netherlands, but I can't remember.
I don't know where he's from.
Not. He's from the Nordic or the Netherlands.
Where Casper is from is close to my heart. That's where Casper's from. It's close to my heart. That's where Casper's from.
Where homie lives.
Yeah, that's where Casper and Richie are from. Close to my heart.
He's from Denmark, I thought.
Denmark,
Is that where
yeah.
he lives?
Oh, yeah. He's Denmarkian.
That's cool, man. He increased his route by $500 this month. I need to rebuild my... since 2020, I fucking just don't even give a fuck about it anymore. That's so bad. I'm leaving so much money. But it's just like... how quickly everyone shit on me. I'm like, man, I don't want to get used to that money again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'll be another reason. And get shit on. The other reason is, like, it's so like the people have, like, other companies have like watered it down. The pricing is so it's like, oh my god. Well, this guy said he'd do it for $10 inside and out. I'm like, this is like a $50 fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, these dudes are like 75 to like 50% less than what I would charge. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I would stick with that guy.
I had that happen around here. I had that happen around here with a fish. This is like the fourth story I've heard of fish. They're like, we had them last year, but we hired, like, you had given us a quote, but theirs was a lot cheaper, so we used them, but you're here this year. And I'm like, I'm curious, why is that? They're like, well, they sent like 2 college kids, and they didn't have ladders, so they asked if they could borrow ours. Our ladders, and they broke something on my porch, and I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, there's a reason. If a quote is half of what mine is, I'm like, I got to be honest. Most of my competitors, we're going to be within about 10 or 15% of each other.
Right, and you're right about that.
In the middle.
And I've also found, like, Mark and Seth would be be able to. I have my customer base my customer base is going to find me. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, those clearly, you're not my customer, apparently. You know what I mean? You know, you're going to find a customer base that appreciates the job that you do. Period. That's just all there is to it. As long as you provide a good service at a good price and you're consistent, you should be fine. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there are some out there that, you know, like, what I got to do is lower the price, you know what I mean, and do a shitty job. You know what I mean? I got to have 100 shitty jobs. You know what I mean? Who cares?
What you really need to do is just start wearing sweatpants and scratch fucking glass, man.
Yeah,
you make shit.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
I am considering in the next year or two building a route so that I can have that for myself. When I want to be done working with the crews and just like go putt around and clean storefronts. Like, I mean, I don't mean putt around, but I just like won't have to have the interaction that I'm having. I can still produce some decent money coming in, and I can be kind of like
have an unmarked vehicle, so if someone pisses you off, you can just fuck you.
100%. I would like roll around in something that doesn't have the name of my company on it for sure. Beeping people.
Just walk around.
They don't walk out in the parking lot and go, "Where's the Leonard truck to clean my storefront?"
I really would like to maintain what I have, but I'd also, I wouldn't mind adding a couple more nice monthly accounts in there. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have a couple nice.
I mean, so maybe take a half day, go out. I mean, I'm sure you can get one or 3 or 4 months.
Say that again.
3 or 4 more jobs monthly, or are you looking like?
Yeah. 3 or 4, maybe 5 more monthly locations would be nice. You know what I mean? I had one that I had for a while, and then I picked it back up, and the guy that got me in there ended up going to another job and getting fired. And but like my first interaction with the guy above him, I just stopped cleaning the glass. The guy was a total fucking asshole to me. He's like. He goes like he calls me on the phone. I pick up the phone and I was like, hello. I was like, it's Clear Views, and he's like, is this the owner? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I need to know what's going on with this invoice. You know what I mean? He goes, it clearly states right here that you charge us this much and you gave us an invoice for this much. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I gave you an invoice for what was quoted, what I was cleared to give you. So this dude was clearly out of the loop. You know what I mean? He was unawares of the contract I had. You know, and he's like, well, I'm trying to figure this out because your contract's almost up anyways. You know what I mean? Essentially. Like, so I need to know what's going on with this. And I'm like, I'll send you over the contract. He was right. You know, it'd be up in January. But I was like, you know what? This guy's a turbo asshole. Enjoy dirty windows, you fucking douchebag. You were paying maybe $10 less than what you're paying me for a shit fucking job, and the guy hardly ever showed up. I'm here every fucking month. It looks fucking excellent, and you want to harangue me over fucking... And listen, the difference in the fucking invoice price, literally, guys, was $5 fucking dollars.
Right.
This guy called me up and was a dick over $5 fucking dollars.
That's a guy that you go, peace.
I'm like, bro, no. I was like, that's what I charged you the 2 years ago. I said, and the only reason why I charging you what I'm gonna charge you $5 more is just because, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to round the number up. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to do. Just round it up. I want an even fucking $300 a month instead of $295. I want an even $300 a month for this. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, because they went the guy before him went with somebody fucking cheaper after me cleaning the windows for years. You know what I mean? And when I say cheaper, they were like fucking $120 some odd dollars cheaper than me. So I was like, yeah, they can have it. You know what I mean? And then I get it back because of my connection. I got the super that was working there. I've been working with the guy for a lot of years. You know what I mean? He's like, hey man, I'm here now. You want to come over here and take care of this facility? I'm like, yes. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'll do that. You're my man. You know what I mean? Whatever, you know. Soon as that dude fucking is like, I'm out of here, this guy started be like, the new guy's like a straight asshole. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that.
Right.
I'm going to miss the money this winter. Possibly. Yeah. Probably will. But I'm not dealing with a fucking jerk off.
Yeah. If you want to go out pound some pavement, I guarantee you can pick up at least 2 jobs.
Yeah, well, this past spring, I mean, it's not like I've completely abandoned trying to build a route, but I picked up quite a few. I think I picked up 6 this spring. You know what I mean? So it wasn't too
so
bad.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I had
if
a
you wanted
nice,
3 or 4,
but
go get 'em.
before COVID, as everyone knows, I mean, I worked for McDonald's, I worked for fucking Subway, I worked for fucking Wendy's, I worked for Applebee's, I worked for fucking everywhere. I had commercial shit everywhere. And after 2020, it kind of like, I was like the first call, like, hey, dude, fuck you. You know what I mean? So, I think within a span of like 6 hours, I lost maybe 75% of my commercial work. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? And after 2020, on Seth's advice, he's like, why don't you just like focus on residential and fuck that shit? And that's what I've done. So the revenue I've replaced the revenue, but it would be nice to have that storefront work again.
But I mean, it's all about pivoting to, like, when you need to pivot, and this sounds like you want to pivot, so go for it.
I don't know if you guys know about my plan. I don't want to talk too
yeah.
much about it on here because you never know who's watching. But my plan, like I told you guys, what I'm going to do in the spring, I'm hoping that will kind of mitigate my storefront woes. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe that little bit of revenue will replace what. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll make things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you decide what you were going to make off storefronts in 12 months. You know what I mean? If
I
you
might
can make
even
that up during the season.
There's a possibility that I might even fucking be bringing a couple people on and running or a one person on, and I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
two. We'll see.
We got a big company that does that around here. It's not spiders, but it's ticks here.
I'm glad you just let the cat out of the bag. Thanks, appreciate it. Hey, I don't want to say what I'm doing, but hey, Seth, you say it for me.
my bad, dude.
I'm just kidding, bro. I'm kidding. I think we talked about it openly on here last week.
He's selling spider vehicles. He's gonna do spider wraps.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
No, he's gonna fit. He's gonna fit the niche of big guys with goatees on OnlyFans.
Niche. No, there's already somebody doing it.
Oh, a lot of
somebody doing everything on
Seth, Jason Lehman's asking about what's going on with the Christmas lights.
Swarmy. I've got 10 jobs lined up right now that are all contracted.
Nice.
And I got my first commercial bid that I'm gonna go look at tomorrow. And I got 5 or 6 other ones that haven't confirmed yet. So I got 10.
Good for you.
It's a decent start, but I think people are gonna have me start hanging them in the next week or two. I'm guessing.
He'll be able to document that experience probably starting Monday. I should be there Monday.
Yeah. Don't mind if there's a lot of swearing and me being like, God damn hell.
I sent Seth a GoPro. So he'll be able to he's gonna shoot his experience, and then we're gonna upload it to the Squeegee Live channel after the season's over. So
nice.
A little POV, boys.
The transom guy is coming tomorrow. Who's the transom guy? Glassman 376. The transom guy is coming tomorrow.
Is
that a handsome transgender?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I beat you to the punch. I knew what you were gonna do. I win. I don't know what the transom guy actually.
Well, as long as we're not, never mind. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, the Halloween lighting seems like I was gonna say Mike is doing there's a Hindu holiday in September that does lighting, and he got like one person for it, and like the entire neighborhood is all his relatives. He's just like boom, 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 like all up and down the street. Just
shit.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
No, I didn't know that there was like a market for that.
Dude, I went to school with a dude who was a Sikh. That motherfucker always had a knife on him and shit.
Oh, Sikhs, yeah. Now they just have their jewelry dangle over like a taxi. Now they're just on the phone in a taxi yelling at everybody.
Oh, Seth, you gotta enlighten me on the transom guy. Is that somebody you know, Mark?
I have never heard of that.
Glassman's 376. He's got a green thing. Maybe it's the green car guy. Maybe the transom guy's coming to replace the transom because he scratched it. Is that a possibility? That's hilarious.
I had an employee that never cleaned transoms. I'm like, I can't even read the fucking suite number, you asshole. Clean it once a month, you fuck.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You fuck.
Yeah, dude, come on, dude. That's the worst.
Fuck.
That is the
Fuck 'em.
worst.
You don't have to do it every time, but do it every other time. We're talking about fucking a piece of glass 3 foot wide by 2 foot tall.
Right.
Fucking deal.
Just clean it, man.
Right.
It stands out like a sore thumb next to that fucking perfectly clean door, you fucking moron.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
That's obvious.
Man, we gotta make a decision here, guys, on the podcast. Are we gonna do Wednesday nights now? Are we gonna start the month of?
It's up to you guys.
What you guys
The
want?
only reason we should do it is because of Thursday night football. To be honest with you,
Right. I think that we should. As soon as when's football season start?
We just need to start.
Should we start? Should just start doing it in September?
Right when we come back from break, like if we take August off, like we did again.
Yeah.
Right when we come back, because that's the season. I'd say we
start Wednesday nights. We'll do Wednesday nights until spring. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I can do any day in the wintertime. It doesn't matter to me, so it's kind of like whatever. But.
So do you want to start? Let's say start
next
first
week. I mean, we can.
Let's start the first week in November. That way, everyone's got time to adjust their schedules.
Is that next week though?
No. First full week of November.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, I think that's the first is Wednesday, so I wasn't sure.
That's what we'll do. I'll make something. I'll get a little advertisement put together, and Jacob can share it around in all the groups and stuff.
Which show it'll be the 8th.
Hey man, we got our fucking first 2 thumbs down episode in like fucking months, dude. Thanks, guys.
We love you too.
We appreciate it.
Pieces of shit.
We haven't had a 2 thumbs down episode in a long time.
A minute.
It's been a minute since we've gotten 2. Shit.
I know this.
Oh, dang minute. Oh, wait a dang minute, Bobby. I told you, this is a propane and propane accessory house only.
I told you to hang the Christmas lights.
I fucking hate
Oh,
fucking
they're in
propane,
Montreal.
man.
Whacking off.
Propane grills are terrible. I don't mind using propane for other things, but propane grills for grilling fucking suck. The biggest dicks.
They're just convenient because you turn them on and in 10 minutes.
But they fall apart so easily. They're fucking trash.
They rust. They rust
like
really quick.
A Weber Genesis is like $1,100 now. I'm like, I bought mine 10 years ago. I probably paid $600, and I cringed when I did that. And I was like, oh, there's my grill. And now it's like $1,100. I'm like, it's not $1,100 grill.
Right? Yeah.
Fucking cheap shit.
I buy $100 fucking charcoal grills and just do it until it's doing.
Yeah. Weber's the only company that has figured out how to make stainless that a magnet.
You did your first. You did your first Traeger racks. So what did you think, man?
It came out good. It's a little bit slower than what I'm used to. There's no water pan, which disturbs me. And I've used it. Well, this is the third time I've used it. It just doesn't get the same smoke. My barbecue, you've had it. It's not over smoked, but there's so much of a lighter smoke with it.
It's a natural. To me, I'm going to tell you the difference. To me, is you can almost the barbecue on a Traeger and shit like that. This is just, and people are going to freak out, but it's like synthetic barbecue.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand what you get? It's like digital tasted. You know what I mean?
Right. No, you're right.
It tastes electric. You know what I mean?
Talking to a guy that won't buy wood if it was cut with a chainsaw because there's oil in it.
You're right. Yeah.
And then I go to these fucking. The pellets look like you feed the goats at the zoo.
Yeah.
And that cooks my barbecue.
Or the fish food. You throw it to the ponds. You get out of the
if you want convenience and just kind of hang out while it does its thing, it's a great.
I wouldn't mind. I would love to. And this is what would sell me on buying one is if you did a brisket on it and it turned out good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a brisket on it.
Do a brisket on. If you do a brisket on one and you like it and you're like, this isn't too bad, then I'm gonna buy one because that's the only thing. That's the only thing I do not. I don't dislike. That's the only thing that I hate doing is fucking briskets. They turn out good, but fuck, is that work, dude? That is,
it is
work.
It's a lot of work.
Oof.
I'm gonna do a brisket on it, and you know, I usually rely on the wife to tell me what's different about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But again, if you want convenience,
I will trade. Yes, but I will not trade. There's not a fucking implement that's sold on the market that I would trade that bread box out there for. Not
that's
a fucking
the best smoker
thing.
ever, dude. I love mine.
They could roll up with a fucking backup trailer, fucking smoke rig, and I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll you know, I mean, sentimental reasons aside. I mean, it's just." It's fucking gangster. That thing is dope. I love that fucking thing. I have done my best. Mine has done my best barbecue I've ever cooked my entire life. You know what I mean? It's really, really fucking dope, man. It's really, really dope.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're getting use out of it. That's important.
Oh, dude, I mean, dude, the amount of times that has fed my entire family is. I mean,
That's
since
awesome.
you got it, since you've given it to me, I every fucking shindig we have, that thing's rolling coal every single time. Every time. I use the fuck out of that thing, so much so that I'm like, I wouldn't say burnout, but I guess I am kind of burnout.
Yeah, you kind of got to step away for a while. I do too. You know.
I really enjoy it, you know what I mean? But I'm burnout. I haven't really done anything, I want to say, since maybe July, I think was the last time I smoked. I was just over it. I'm over this fucking shit.
Yeah.
But now Thanksgiving's coming, and I'm going to have my fucking cousin is probably going to be like, "You smoking a brisket, right? God damn it."
Right.
You know, I get that every year. They're like, "You're going to do a brisket, right?" I'm like, "Fuck."
Right.
My briskets, I mean, you've really helped me with that. I mean, they're way better than they've ever been. You know what I mean? I'm actually, when I cut into them and it's all gooey and fucking like juice is rolling out everywhere, and I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean?
It makes it worth 14 hours right there.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know if it makes it worth it, Mark, but at least you fill your belly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you like me?
Just like I do.
But are you like me though? But after I am Jennifer. Every time I smoke food, Jennifer, the first thing Jennifer does is gets a plate, makes me a plate and sticks it in the oven because I'm not going to eat. She knows I'm not going to eat.
Yeah, because you've been smelling it all the time.
All day long. And then around fucking 10:30, 11 o'clock at night after everybody's drunk and fucking full, I'm like, man, I'm hungry. You know, Jennifer's like, well, I saved you a plate.
Yeah,
my
wife does that at camp. If I cook for 20 people, we have to stash it because I don't feel like eating after cooking it all day.
I know.
And then, but the last time I did it, I just left the point of the brisket, a rack of ribs, and some pulled pork in there in one pan under foil, so no eyes. I kept the smoker down at like 80, 90 degrees, just barely lit. Everybody left, and then I ate, you know. Right. So, yeah.
I'm that way as well. As well. Man, I'll tell you what, though, my pork butts... I got that Mark Tanner skill with them pork butts now. My pork butts are so ridiculous that I fucking can't take... I have to have help getting them off the fucking smoker because they fucking just fucking fall apart, dude.
Yeah.
They fall apart, man.
That's awesome.
Jennifer's like... I told Jennifer, I was like, man, you're going to have to come back in here and help me. She's like, well, I was like, these fucking pork butts, man. She's like, what's the matter? You know, and I'm like really down. I'm like, man, if these... You're going to have to help me. She's like, okay, so we go back there. I open up the smoker and I pull the rack out and I told her, hold the pan right here so I can catch it. So I don't want to drop it. And I just took my red paper and just smacked it and it just fell through the fucking into the pan and she just looks at me. I was like, that shit's fucking gangster, bro.
Oh yeah, there ain't nothing better.
Ain't nothing better and wet, fucking juicy.
Yeah.
And the key is to fucking shred it all up, get the bone out, shred it all up, and then sprinkle that rub back over it, and fucking mix it all together. That's the killer.
The problem
right
is, DJ,
you got to make sure that your juice doesn't get fucking burnt though.
No. Well, I have
You know what I'm saying?
fat-
Like it doesn't char.
Yeah. But you know what? The thing is, it's just like my wife says all the time. You ruined barbecue for me, meaning we can't go
I
anywhere else
can't.
because it's gonna
Nope.
suck.
Nope. Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
it's gonna suck.
Every time we go somewhere that's got like good for barbecue and shit, people are always asking me, "Why did you get a steak?" I was like, "Well,
Right.
because I'm gonna judge the fuck out of that barbecue. I'm
Right.
gonna put it in my mouth
Right.
like this shit was boiled."
Yeah. Hard-boiled.
Yeah, I don't want no hard boiled eggs. I want fucking
No.
smoked meats.
Yeah.
You know?
Hard boil.
Hard boil. You know,
Hard
I don't
boil.
know. I'm really fucking particular, and I've ruined it for Jennifer and the kids. They don't order. Because normally back in the day we go out. Occasionally they get a rack of ribs and split up the ribs and
Yeah.
whatever. They don't do that shit no more though, because it's not the same. It's
They know.
not the same. Yeah, it's
Yep.
not the same.
Yep.
It's not the same.
Well, because all you got to do is tell them one time, what did you expect to get? You know what I'm saying?
I
Don't
need to
complain
work
about it.
on my ribs though. I need to. I got to a good spot with my ribs, and then like the last 2 or 3 times I've done ribs, like I have done one time the Mark Tanner way, face up, face down, no foil.
Yeah.
And I went back to foil, and then I fucking did no flipping. I'm all over the place lately with it, and
I
it's
do
like
it the
I've
same
lost.
way every time.
I've lost
2
my
hours,
touch.
2 hours bone side down. The 1 hour bone side up. Wrap them in foil for 45 minutes. Then cook them to 198, 195, 198.
Yeah.
And I tried putting honey. Like when I wrap them in foil, I just put apple juice on them.
Mm-hmm.
Just put apple juice on them, and then when I pull them out, I let them dry. I sprinkle a little more rub on it, and whatever glaze you want to put on it, run it up to right under 200, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But every cut of meat is different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I've gotten everybody around that eats my barbecue is conditioned to not like we're not going to put sauce on TJ's barbecue because it tastes good enough without it. You know what I mean?
Side.
Well,
Yeah,
it used to. I don't have Tanner rub anymore, so now
I've been meaning to send that shit
I
out.
don't
I got
care.
two jars of it
I've
sitting
been
there.
I've been using fucking some other shit. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. I still end up. I'm gonna buy this, and then I ended up doing like adding shit to it. I add shit to it every time. This still doesn't taste right. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
barbecue's fucking weird. You know what I mean? It's weird. Everyone likes different shit. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
everybody likes to cook them differently too. But we'll do next week will be Thursday again. We'll do another Thursday, but the very first full week of November, which day is that?
I
The
think
8th.
Jacob's the 8th. Yeah.
So Jacob, you won't get to. You're not going to be out of the podcast.
Yeah, I won't be here.
Yeah, you will, because your girlfriend's going on the 9th. We're going to be doing the podcast on the 8th.
I'll be driving.
On the 8th?
Yeah, I'm taking 3 days
Oh,
off.
so wait a minute. So let me get this straight. You said you were going to be on the 9th. Now you're saying you're not going to be the 8th and the 9th? Like, who the fuck? Like, what if I said we're going to start doing it on Tuesday? You're going to be getting ready to do the fuck, to leave? Like, I don't
To be
understand.
thinking about driving.
Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about driving. I'm not going to be able to come on. I'm just messing with you. But the 8th will be the first. We're going to move the show to Wednesday for the. And not only that, I think Jennifer has Thursdays off, so occasionally when she's not doing girls things, I'll be able to do things with Jen. So that'll
be nice. Have
That'll
like
be
a night
nice.
together.
Yeah. That'll be nice. I get to play with her boobs and stuff. It'll be fun.
It was tight.
But yeah, we'll definitely we'll let you guys know on that shit. Out that way, everyone will be aware. So you'll know. You'll have a week's notice before, because I know a lot of guys like to watch the show live, and maybe this will make it a little like Damien usually leaves for Thursday night football and shit like that. So we'll see.
And if y'all don't like that, we'll just pre-record it and then.
Yeah, and if this doesn't work out in the wintertime, then we'll just go to pre-recording the shit. You know what I mean? Or what we'll do is we'll just do it live for Patreon members and then upload it afterwards after we've done it. So, then people can watch it whenever they want. It'll be semi-live.
Nice.
It'll be live. It'll be live for our supporters and not live for people that just want to give us thumbs downs. Look at Seth. Seth's like, dudes.
Oh, dudes. Y'all know the Zionists, bro?
But thanks to our sponsors, windowcleaner.com. If you guys are unawares, if you go to the description of this video or any other video that I do, there's a link there. If you click that link...
Shit, you put it. Good job.
If you click that link, it will take you to windowcleaner.com. Once you fill your cart, we will get a percentage, and when I say we, I mean I, for Monsters and Cigarettes, will get a percentage of your cart sale off, you know what I mean? It's not like it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you the same. It's just we're just going to get like a half a penny on the dollar, so...
Nice. It'll probably be even less now since...
Yeah, probably less now that Jacob just won't stop talking about it and is just making it worse. It's going to be 0.03% of a penny at this rate. But that would be really awesome if you guys did that. So if you're like going to make an order, man, click that link, go through to windowcleaner.com, fill up your cart, buy some cool stuff. Keep a lookout. They've always got sales. And if you haven't, go subscribe to American Window Cleaner Magazine. Fucking Jersey needs the money. Don't forget to go and follow Maker Products on TikToks and the Instagrams, as well as Black Diamond and Squeegee Rubber on the TikToks and the Instagrams. There's going to be some cool stuff coming from Maker Products on YouTube, too. So check, if you're not subscribed to their YouTube channel, go subscribe. Maker.com, BlackDiamondSqueegeeRubber.com, Zero.com, you know, all our sponsors, all of them. And, of course, definitely last but not least, our Patreon members. Do that after the 300 episode. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. Like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're gonna do this as an experiment, because I noticed around this time of year last year we started doing it on Thursday nights. We had double, almost triple viewers. And then as soon as football season started, that kind of went away. So maybe it'll be easier for people to watch if we do it on Wednesdays. Have a little more lively show in the comments for everybody. But we'll be back next week. I don't know if we'll fucking have a guest or not. We may not. We'll see. I reached out to Mark Kladinsky. What's his name?
Cool. Yeah.
Is that his name, Mark?
Kladinsky,
I don't know,
yeah.
Klodzinski. I don't know. He's a ski like old fucking Seth up there.
Right.
I
saw, dudes.
How the fuck are you still staying that pose?
I don't know. He's got the fortitude of an Iron Man with that, holding that pose.
Fucking mannequin over there.
We'll be back next week, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys watching every Wednesday or Thursday now, and then Wednesday. It's Wednesday coming up, so we'll try Wednesdays for a little bit.